Good morning. We're so excited that you're all here. James Russell, president of the Whaling Museum, was hoping to be here this morning. His son is also a senior and graduating, so he is with Owen doing the graduation ceremony there at Moses Brown. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, members, and the staff at the New Bedford Whaling Museum, welcome to the 6th New Bedford Whaling Museum High School Apprenticeship Program. Congratulations to the class of 2015. You have done it. In my many years of teaching, I have never worked with a more dynamic, capable, and motivated group of students. You have so much to be proud of. You have done so much for the museum, and we thank you. The road ahead will not always be easy. There'll be twists and turns. You will need to be financially savvy, academically curious, organized, and determined. But never forget your dreams and the optimism you carry today. When someone says to you, you can't, I want you to think, I can. And if someone says to you, you won't, I want you to think, I will. There'll be bumps and times that you'll think the wall is too high to scale. You'll need to advocate for yourself. You'll need to ask for help. Please know that you're an apprentice at the Whaling Museum, and once you're an apprentice, you're always an apprentice. We are here to act as a sounding board and to help give you guidance. We're here to connect you with resources. God knows we don't leave any stone unturned. We will do as much as we can for you. And we're here to encourage you to keep on going even when you think it may not work out. Stay in touch with one another. Check in on Facebook. Send an occasional text. You know how Brian loves to hear from you. And make sure that you have the November homecoming on your calendar every year. We would love to see you back here at the museum. Class of 2015, you are spectacular with limitless potential. It's a wonderful life. Go out and make the best of every day. We are so proud of you.
And I'd like to introduce the first of our apprentice speakers, who looks very enthusiastic about this, Mr. Raymond Khaldun, Latimer.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Raymond Khaldun, Latimer. I've been in the apprentice program for 2 years here at the New Bedford Whaling Museum. The first time I ever heard of the program was at school on the announcement. I went and applied for the program. I really didn't think I was going to get the job, especially after I was told it was very competitive. This program isn't like any ordinary job like McDonald's or Taco Bell. They will not only teach you the history of New Bedford, but also how deep a sperm whale could dive. This program has impacted my life in many ways. 3 of the major ones are college readiness, working in a professional environment, and public speaking skills. I always thought about going to college and what I was going to do after college, but I never took it seriously. I really didn't feel like attending school again after high school. Because of my great experience at the museum, now I have a desire for a higher education, and I have been forming some goals for my life. I'm very grateful to say I've been accepted to 3 colleges. I will be attending BCC in the fall. I have an interest in the criminal justice field. Today I would like to thank my family, my friends, and the staff of the education department, and the benefactors of this wonderful museum for the opportunity to participate in the apprenticeship program. Next apprentice, Tatiana Grace.
Good morning. My name is Tatiana Grace, and I am a recent graduate of Greater New Bedford Voc Tech and the Legal and Protective Services program. I have been an apprentice here at the museum for 2 years. Living in New Bedford, I visited the New Bedford Whaling Museum every year, and I never thought that I would be working here someday, and I didn't know that there was such an opportunity for a young student such as myself. My teacher thought it would be a great fit for me. I was uncomfortable working with money or food, and we visited here on a field trip, and James Russell approached us and said that there was an opportunity for teens to work here in the museum and learn more about the history. I applied for my first job, and the interview came, And I remember standing at the front desk with my father, and I was freaking out because I forgot who the person who was interviewing me's name was. And it's funny to say, to this day, I call him Uncle Bob. I was hired during the summer, and I instantly fell in love with the job. The communication people, working with children, creating different things. At Vogue, there's not really an opportunity to have like art and stuff like that, so it was really nice to be able to create a story, which was the first task I was handed when I came here. But that was a lot of fun. At Vogue, there's kind of a different thing that everybody's good at. Kids that are artsy go into media technology, such as Josie. Me going into legal and protective services, I didn't really have a talent. And I found working here that I had one plain and specific talent, which was working with people. So in the fall, I will be attending Salem State University for my BSW in social work, and hopefully getting my MSW focusing on adults and children. So I would like to thank everybody in the museum who has helped me kind of point out this talent, and everybody who has supported me applying to 8 different schools and getting accepted into all of them. So thank you. Next, I would like to introduce my fellow apprentice, Dejah Reed.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dejah Reed. I am a New Bedford High School graduate, and this is my second year in the Wayland Museum Apprentice program. And I can undoubtedly say that becoming a part of this program was one of the best decisions I've ever made. When I first applied for the program, I had my assumptions. The day I came in for my interview was the first time I ever stepped foot in the museum. So I had a preconceived notion that I'd be giving tours all day or possibly dusting whalebones. However, I figured it was a job and I really needed the income. I had no idea of the incredible opportunities that would come from me working here, and I had no idea my coworkers would soon become like my family. Working at the museum has allowed me to acquire quality work experience that I would not have gained working at any other part-time job. I have gained other extremely useful skills that I will use for the rest of my life, including public speaking, personal composure, and how to properly give a handshake. This program has also helped me work toward my passion and career goals. The museum has introduced a new aspect of the program this year, enabling seniors to participate in off-site internships in their desired field of study. Thanks to the museum and all their assistants, I have met Carol Kozma, who's right there in the pink dress. Hi. A reporter at the Standard Times, who was willing to work with the museum staff to secure me an internship there. This internship provided me with real field experience. I went out with reporters from the Standard Times to investigate stories. I sat in meetings, I interviewed people, and composed short articles. I've even been given multiple assignments that I had to complete and research on my own, which have since been published and can be found on South Coast Online. This internship experience has shown me what it's like to be a real reporter. It has ultimately fueled my desire to pursue a career in journalism. The museum has also contributed greatly to my college journey. With their guidance, I've successfully completed the SAT, scholarship, and federal student aid processes. I'm proud to tell you that I'll be attending Emerson College in the fall to major in journalism. To say that the Apprentice program has helped me would be an understatement. I would just like to thank everyone on the museum staff who has helped me these past 2 years and who have been there for me. Thank you. And I would like to introduce my fellow apprentice, Chelsea Texera.
Good morning. My name is Chelsea Texera, and I'm a recent graduate of New Bedford High School. I'll be studying communication disorders in the fall at Bridgewater State University, and after 5 or 6 long years when I obtained my master's degree, I hope to become a speech-language pathologist with a concentration in working with the deaf and hard of hearing population. When I was hired as an apprentice in the fall of 2013, I had no idea what to expect. Truthfully, I'd never stepped foot in the building until the day of my interview. During the first semester of the program, I learned a lot about the history of New Bedford. Bob made this learning fun by taking us on field trips to places like the Nathan and Paula Johnson House and the Roach Jones Duff House. By January of 2014, we were all able to lead tours of the museum. I'd say that's a pretty cool accomplishment for 16 and 17-year-old students. Aside from the history of whaling in New Bedford, I've also taken away important knowledge about the workplace. I've learned what it means to be a professional and gotten a feel for what it's like to help plan and run large events as opposed to just being a guest at them. This program has helped me become a well-rounded person, and I've had some extraordinary experiences in my time here. From Over the Top, our largest fundraiser of the year, to taking field trips to other museums and aquariums. I am truly grateful for the time I've spent here and the friends who are now more like family that I've made along the way. Now I'd like to take a moment to thank a few people who have been crucial to my success here at the museum and in the past 2 years of high school. Bob, you made sure that we all feel comfortable with each other, and you taught us everything we could ever need to know about the museum. On a more personal note, when my grandmother passed away last May, you touched base with me often to see how I was doing, and you even took the time to get the apprentices together to write me a card sending their condolences. I still have that card hanging on my corkboard next to her obituary. Brian, it was a bittersweet moment when you and Bob switched places. However, I can honestly say that our second year of the program, which we spent with you, was just as great as the first one that we shared with Bob. You have been so helpful to me, organizing SAT prep, which helped improve my score by 170 points, and taking me on college tours, which really helped me decide where I want to and where I'm able to go in the next 4 years of my life. Also, on a more personal note, I got into a car accident in February, and while I was calling my mom and my boyfriend, Dejah called Brian, and he and Ray showed up within minutes. He helped me navigate the not-so-fun adult world of dealing with cops and tow trucks and the stress that came along with it. Thank you for everything, Brian. And Sarah Rose. The first day you met us, you sat us down at the table and prompted us to tell you what we didn't like about the program. This isn't something that we get asked very often, and of course there aren't many things that we don't like, but you always tried to make sure that we are all happy with the way that things are run, which isn't something that happens at any ordinary job. Finally, I'd like to thank the benefactors who made immeasurable donations in order to keep this program growing, as well as the family and friends who have come today to share this day with us. Thank you.
Hello everybody, good morning. My name is Josephine Tilly. I'm a senior apprentice here and I graduated from VOTEC. When I turned 16, I knew it was time I got a job. I didn't want to work in food, and if I were to work in retail, I would spend my whole paycheck before even leaving the store. I wasn't sure where to start, since those are typically the only two positions available for a 16-year-old. I then got a phone call from my dear grandmother talking about a job at the New Bedford Whaling Museum. Now that actually seemed interesting. When I first came in to apply, I actually grabbed the wrong application, but Bob accepted it anyways. Then a couple days later, I got a phone call to come in for an interview. This was the first interview I've ever had, and I was extremely nervous. So being the person I am, I put together a portfolio of my awards, report cards, and letters of recommendation. I remember walking into the museum with my head high and ready for this interview. I sat down to have 4 people looking at me. I became extremely anxious and I did not think I had done well. Until I got a phone call from Charmaine, a former apprentice, telling me I got the job. When I began working at the museum, I expected to be working at the front desk or with the store, but I was completely wrong. I entered a room full of random people around the same age, not knowing one face besides Tatiana and Cassie. That changed very quickly. A few days went by and I never felt more comfortable. I began making close friends and learning more about the Whaling Museum each day. I started in the summer, meaning I had the chance to do all the fun things first. We visited other facilities and worked with other teams. We created crafts with children and worked with the public. In the fall, training in the galleries began and I started to understand everything this museum had to offer. I had to learn everything around me in order to give a tour. The learning process wasn't as difficult as I expected it to be. Bob went through every gallery with us. He added humor to an in-depth explanation about the various artifacts to keep us focused. Because of this, I have the proper knowledge to give a tour here. But we didn't focus just on the museum education. The staff also helped me with my own education. I received SAT preparation, which helped me incredibly. I always had a tutor anytime I needed one with school, and I had the support to get me through school. This meant more to me than anything. I participated in many programs throughout high school, and they were there to support me even if it meant missing work. This museum has also been there for me through the college application process. I have built many connections here, and the museum even helped me secure an off-site internship at the Buzzards Bay Coalition. This will help me get more into marine biology and conservation, which I am passionate about. These past couple of years have been truly amazing. I have gotten some of the best opportunities here and will take these memories everywhere I go. I still cannot believe that my time here is finally coming to an end. And it feels as if I'm coming here for the first time looking for a job. As sad as it is to move on, I am excited to start my future. None of this would have been possible without the help of my friends, family, and the Whaling Museum. I am proud to be an apprentice. Thank you. And now I'd like to introduce my fellow friend, Fabio.
Good afternoon. My name is Fabio. I'm a recent graduate of New Bedford High School. I applied to the apprenticeship program because of its unique job description alone. It seemed to be a promising opportunity compared to the average high school employment. I expected the program to consist of taking in information of the exhibits and galleries and eventually giving tours. It turned out to be much more than what I expected. I have gained skills such as adaptability, proper communication, responsibility, integrity, and perseverance, all of which will aid me in overcoming the future endeavors and achieving success. More importantly, I have learned what it truly means to be a part of my community and to embrace its rich history. My favorite part of the program was traveling to off-site locations such as aquariums and the zoo to meet other teens and learn of their experience. This helped me view the program from a different perspective and appreciate its benefits. The program has prepared me for college by providing me with opportunities that relate to my desired profession through internships and skills aforementioned that are crucial for enduring challenges I may face in the near future. I am attending college in the fall at Benjamin Franklin Institute for Automotive Technology. I plan to become a certified automotive technician and hope to work in a renowned company one day. After many years of mastering my trade, I plan to get a degree in automotive management and open up my own shop. I must say it is hard to describe an experience that is practically inexplicable. I have met outstanding people in this program, including my fellow apprentices and museum staff. With your teamwork, I am standing here today with a bright future ahead of me. We apprentices are off to immerse ourselves in a deep ocean of knowledge, and we are surely prepared to embark on this odyssey known as life. Thank you.